I'm pleased to say I'm joined by the former two-time back-to-back champion of the world, Adrian Lewis. Thanks for the time, Adrian. How you doing?
I'm all right, thanks, Alex. Yeah, all good here, mate. And looking forward to the week ahead.
Good to hear. And yeah, we're talking now only 3 days before you'll be back on the Winter Garden stage to play in the World Matchplay. How much are you looking forward to being back involved in this event, one of the biggest there is in the PDC?
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, obviously going into last week's Pro Tours, knowing that, try to stay ahead of the field and the qualifying criteria. I knuckled down and did my job, really. So, yeah, really proud of that.
We'll come on to look back on that title win in the last week, but it's been a little while since we had you on the show towards the end of 2017, so a little bit to catch up on. And, yeah.
I didn't realise it was that long ago.
It's been a while, and well, 2018, that was the first year that we saw you miss out on the Premier League and the World Cup for a little while. Obviously, the World Cup, you won it 4 times, the Premier League, you made the playoffs a few times, you've thrown those 9 darters. So for that first year, how tough was it to initially miss out on those events?
Yeah, I mean, like you say, nobody wants to miss any event really, but it is what it is. I don't think COVID helped causes really more than anything else. I think that had a lot to do with it as well. I think I got myself back into the top 16 in the world rankings, and caught COVID not to miss, the Grand Prix and the European. So that was a bit of a blow. But it's the same for everybody. If you look back like MVG, for instance, missing the World Championships. Just things like that, really, which you can't do anything about.
Yeah, it's definitely affected a lot of players, and we look back at 2020 as a year that no one will forget. For you, as someone who's been on the road for 15 plus years, what was it like suddenly then being stuck at home?
Yeah, I mean, initially it was all right. I thought, it's all right. It's not too bad. You're spending time with the family and that. This is great. And then after a couple of weeks, you're itching to get back at it again. So, yeah, it was difficult, really.
And one of the first events back after the break was the World Matchplay. That year, of course, being behind closed doors. We know you're someone who thrives off the crowd, the atmosphere. So how strange was it playing with no fans in the building?
Yeah, it wasn't good at all, to be honest. I mean, the PDC did the best job to, put the crowd noise in, the artificial noise. But it's nothing like the real thing. You can't beat the crowd. I mean, the crowd make it, don't they? So
definitely. And I remember that tournament after you beat Steve Beaton in the first round. You said you felt that might be your last World Matchplay if you didn't knuckle down. Why was that?
I just felt like it was. That's what I thought. Beforehand, I thought that that might be. This might be my last one, obviously, with regards to the rankings and everything else. You never know, do you, see? So, like I say, you have to knuckle down and just keep plodding on.
At the end of that year, we see you back winning on the big stage start of 2021, knocking out Michael Smith, Gary Anderson to make the final day of last year's Masters. At the time, did you feel like that could be the kickstart for your comeback?
It was weird, that was, because I didn't know that they changed the play, because normally it was I think it was it the top 16, wasn't it, the Masters, and then it was literally it must have only been probably wasn't even a week, and my wife said, you better get on the practice board. I said, why is that? I said, because you're in the Masters, because they changed it to the top 24 then. So, like I say, it was just thrown up on me. So, yeah, I was quite chuffed, get where I got, and that's what I'm.
Fast forward to the end of last year, we saw you in the Players' Championship finals on that main stage. You get past Kim Hybrex, and I think after it was to Stuart Pike, you said, I haven't got to right any wrongs, I've just got to believe in myself. Has it been a lack of belief which you think has maybe held you back? Yeah,
I think so. Sometimes I think, like you say, confidence plays the biggest part in my opinion. In this, I think I always say 95% in your head. Doesn't matter how naturally or what ability you've got. If your head's not on it or your head's not right in the right place, you don't seem to perform. And I think that's the key. That's the key aspect to making sure you're right mentally.
Well, the next round, you and Peter Wright go all the way to a decider. Peter said afterwards he wanted to see you back in the Premier League where you belong, but the game probably remembered for the argument you two had on stage afterwards. Peter said it was about Christmas cards. If so, did he send you one?
No, he apologised to me, and then I said, obviously, I apologised to him as well for blasting him on Twitter, which I thought, at the time it was the right thing to do, but it is what it is, and we move on.
Glad to hear it. Well, after losing to Gary Anderson, your old rival, in 4 sets at Ali Pali. There was that long break before the new season started this year. So how was that break for you, and what were the goals coming into this year?
I don't mean, obviously, my goal is to, just play as many tournaments, try and enjoy it, I think. That's just my goal. Just enjoy it, I think. And what'll be, will be. I didn't set myself any particular, goals and such. I just want to go up there and enjoy it more than anything else.
Well, it looked like you enjoyed that first round of the UK Open this year, that 108 average in the first round. When you put in performances like that, that must give you belief that maybe a big run is just around the corner.
Yeah, it was, going into the UK Open, I felt like my form was, gradually picking up around that time. And I played the young German lad, and to be honest, I played really well. I don't know what my average was, it was high. And then I played Ryan Searle on the sideboards, obviously him being a local lad as well. So he had all the crowd, and it was, it was a tough game, to be honest. At one stage, I can remember playing at 1-6-1, and at the treble 20, at the treble 17, I'm just about to throw at the bullseye, and somebody, obviously with the crowd being so close, shouted, "Don't worry, Ryan, you'll miss." That's what it was like all the way through the game, though. The barricade on that day, but it is what it is, and like you say, they support the local lads, so fair play to them, really.
Well, then we come on to last weekend, the last events before the cut-off for the World Matchplay. You were in the spots going into the weekend, but what's it like in the venue on these weekends in particular when there is so much at stake?
Yeah, you could tell when I was talking to players, before they commenced, that there's a bit of nervousness in the air. But I just thought, well, you've just got to go up there and do the best you can, and it's helped really with the first day. I made the semis, which put a bit of a gap between. I think it was me and Ross Smith. I think it was at the time. So that was important. Make sure you get off to a good run. Yeah,
good start to the weekend with that semi-final, and a couple of days later comes the title. First round against Sean Wilkinson, one of the new tour card holders this year. You survived the match starts even that early on. Do you start to think it could be your day, or are you just still taking it one game at a time?
No, because like I say, it was first round, and I don't know what happened, to be honest. What I tried to do, because I realised with the heat, because it was that hot, that the board seemed a lot softer than what they have been. So I thought I'd try a longer point and put a bit more grip on it, and then it was sticking to my fingers. I thought, no, I've got to change these back. So that's what happened there. And then all of a sudden, I think it was the first couple of games were a bit of, and then after that, I started, find some form.
Yeah, he definitely did. Once we get to the last 16, we see the performances rise up. 102, 99, 98, 103 averages for those last 4 games to close out the title. To produce that level, that must have given you so much satisfaction.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, it just shows you then, when the work you put in, it's just nice that it comes together. And, it is good, yeah, brilliant.
You mentioned the work that you've been putting in. Have you been doing anything differently the last few months?
No, not really. Just like I say, just more or less. To be honest, all I've been doing really is a lot of practicing on my finishing. Just the finishing side of the game, really. Like me combination shots, like from 80 to a ton. That kind of finishing.
Well, that was your 26th senior title in the PDC, first for a few years, and you said in your interview afterwards, "I can beat anybody, but I can also lose to anybody." Is that more of a reflection on the growing standard across the board, or?
I think so. As the whole thing, everybody's saying how much the standard's grown. I think what the difference is now, as from when I started, nearly 20 years ago now, as there was probably only an handful of us really who could hit, an 100 average on a regular basis. Where now the top 128 can hit 100 averages. That's where the game's at the minute.
Well, you then decide to head home early, miss the last day with your spot for the match play confirmed. Was it job done? Let's get some rest in before Blackpool?
I think so, yeah. I think with the heat as well, because like you say, it was 30 odd degrees outside and it was absolutely boiling in there. And I just thought, you know what, I might as well go home, have a couple of days with the family and get myself ready for the match play.
Well, this is going to be your 17th World Matchplay back in the field after missing out last year. What does it mean to you to get back in this event, and is it a sign that you are on your way back?
I think so. I think over the past certainly over the past 4 or 5 months, I mean, you know, I've been having some big averages and you know, just find a bit more consistency. I think, you know, instead of like averaging 90s and losing matches, if I can average, you know, around the 100 mark consistently, and that's when I'll start picking up more titles.
Well, the draw was made on Monday evening. Were you one of the ones watching the draw live, or did you wait to find out after?
No, we watched it. We put it on. Was it Betfred or something? I think it was. So yeah, I think she put it on there. I think she found it on there somewhere. So yeah, we did watch it. Yeah.
And it's you and your old foe, Michael van Gerwen, in the first round. I think this will be the third time you've faced each other in Blackpool. The first one, 2013, still regarded one of the best ever games on that stage. 17-15 winning that semi-final. Is that one of your favourite wins you've had?
I think so. Yeah, it's up there. It's definitely up there. Yeah, you know, it was like I say, it's the semi-finals, and obviously none of us wanted to lose. So it was it was a great game. That was. I missed doubles, you know, a few early doors, and let him off a few times. Then he let me off at the end, missing that double 13.
Yeah, and I was looking back. John Gwynn was calling the action. I saw you were one of many to pay tribute to him after he passed away last week. What memories are going to stick with you with John?
Oh, there's too many. I mean, we've done, you know, a lot of exhibitions together, and he was just a top man. He really was. One of the stories I could tell you was we were having a game of snooker. And John's only a small, you know, was only a smallish bloke, and he got the rest out, and he threw it onto the snooker table, and I just see him laughing, and his tears coming down his eyes. I said, "What's up, mate?" He said, "I can't reach the rest." He really too far in front, so he couldn't reach the rest. So, yeah, he was a top man, really was. He'd be missed.
Yeah, definitely will. And you mentioned the exhibitions. You're, of course, still one of the most popular players on the exhibition circuit. How good is it to be back playing those exhibitions again, meeting the fans?
I mean, that's all important parcel of I see to practice as well, see, because, you know, you're in front of a crowd all the time, and it's good. It's great practice, really. Because when you're at home, you know, you're on your own. You put some music on, and you just chill out, really. But when you're there, you've got to play, you've got to perform. That's what they pay the money for. So. It's good. It is good.
And obviously the focus will be on Blackpool this weekend, but looking ahead to the rest of the year, you're in a good place to get in a lot of the other major events. What are you really looking at for the rest of the year to try and achieve?
Yeah, I had a look at that. I'm in a good spot for the Grand Prix. I know that's not been my favourite event over the years, but I have made the final, so you know, there's no reason I can't do it again. Have a good run. And
we can't go without mentioning your old pal Phil Taylor. He's back playing on TV again in the seniors. Did you catch much of it? What did you think?
I've seen little bits. I've seen the highlights on YouTube and so on. But he'll get there. You know what he's like. You know, he ain't give in, is he? Until he wins something again.
Has he tapped you up for a practice session like old times?
No. He lives probably about 40 minutes away from me now, see, so...
Well, Adrian, it's always a pleasure to catch up. We appreciate your time. Congratulations again on the title last weekend, and we wish you all the best for the World Matchplay and what else is to come this year.
No, nice one. All the best to you, mate. Thank you very much.